today we're speaking to John. He's got a business in recruitment and in care. He wants to grow the business. He's got some cash. He doesn't know what to do with it. In his own words, he's spinning off cash and he wants to put it to work. He also wants to borrow some money, and he's had some challenges with that because of the recruitment sector. His wife, his business partner, is a little bit more risk adverse than him. So there's some challenges. Strap yourselves in as we grow this business. Welcome back to the Business Broadcast. I'm James Sinclair, and you are
James Bird.
There we go.
James Sinclair's best friend, if anyone's asking.
Oh, thanks, mate. We're going to Snowdonia together.
We are going to Snowdonia.
Are you looking forward to it?
I'm well looking forward to it. I've got sports day that day.
Oh, don't worry about that. There's another one.
No,
one
but it's George's
it's
his first one.
Don't worry about that.
I'm going to go,
next day,
and then I'm
isn't
going
it?
to drive up after. Go on, sorry,
It's the
Chaz.
next day.
What is?
The Snowdonia. It's on Saturday.
Yeah, we're driving up on Friday, aren't we? It's 7 hours.
Ah, you can make it up Friday evening.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah,
I'm leaving Essex at 3 or 4 o'clock on Friday evening.
How are you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll come with you then.
Yeah.
Just invite myself there. Me, you, and Nats. That'd be comfortable,
Yeah.
won't it? Oi, oi,
Is Hayley
Gooseberry.
not coming?
No, Snowdonia. Are you mad? No, she's going to come to the nice restaurant.
Oh, is she?
She ain't go walking up the hill. Not a chance.
I'm really looking forward to it. Have you done it before?
I've never done it before.
Chud's done it before, haven't you, mate?
Of course he has. He skated down it, I reckon. That's how cool he is. What's that? Shut to the skateboard.
Actually, you say that. Now, Gabs, who's my PT, says walking down is harder than going up it.
It is.
Would you concur with
Yeah,
that?
definitely. It's the right pain on the ass on the knees.
Medical term there.
But it's not really a proper mountain, is it, Chud? It's really
No,
more
it's a
of
very
a hill.
big hill.
Yeah.
We'll take it though. Where does a hill become a mountain and a mountain become a hill?
Well, there's no climbing. The word
Right.
climbing a mountain means the mountain.
He will definitely be saying we're climbing. Can you imagine
There's
we're on
no-
top? I'm up here, guys. Climbed a mountain.
Nah, there's no all fours at any point. You're just walking. Yeah.
Depends who you're going with. Oi, oi. Come on, that's not that kind of walking trip.
So, yeah, we're doing that.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
I'm very much looking forward
Haley's
to
like,
it.
you sure you should be going? You got gout. I'm like, I won't have gout by then. Do you need hiking boots and all that nonsense? Oh, really? Oh.
Of course you need. What are you going to go in your flip-flops?
No, I was going to. Yeah, I could do, couldn't I? Flip flop. I was going to go in me running shoes. So comfortable. I run a marathon in them. No? Fine.
There we go.
Sorted.
Today, we are speaking to Nucleus Precision Consultants, Nucleus Social Work, and Nucleus Property.
That's right.
Tell us all about it,
The
Jabby.
Nucleus Empire, yes. So we are talking to lovely John Surman, and he has been going about 6 years, doing 50 grand a month in monthly revenue. He has got 19 members, but he's got some challenges afoot. He is growing. Biggest challenge at the moment is growing over 10 staff and scaling up. Second biggest challenge is building a management team. Third biggest challenge is raising funds to grow. He's been to one of your events recently. He's now got the bit between his teeth. He's on the acquisition
Trail.
the trail. Oh, yeah, that's nice, wasn't it? All linked up together
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
You do not miss a trick, do you? So, yeah, they need some funds to help with growth. They're a recruitment business, effectively. So they do legal and social care, and they're also creating a children's home, I believe, which is the property arm of the company. We always ask our entrepreneurs, what will the business look like when it... No, we always ask the entrepreneurs first, where do you want to be in 1 year's time? And he says he wants to be doing 100,000 squidaroonies per month. What will the business look like when it is finished? He said £200,000 per month with 4 functional businesses, investment property, operations, running without me, and enough capital to purchase additional investments. Do you make the profit that you want to make? And if so, what is it? He said, not yet, we do not. How do you spend your day-to-day time in the business? We always like to ask our entrepreneurs that. And he said, coaching, training, finances, and trying to raise funds, hiring, negotiations on property for businesses, and leading the team. And again, they are going across property, finance, and the care business as well. Then there's a bunch of other information that we've got there, which we might come on to later. They're trying to get some stuff happening with commercial property. They want to buy an existing business. There's lots and lots of stuff going on here, which we're going to get into. It's going to be a very interesting episode. But before we all do all that stuff, let's knock at the door. It's time for this.
Yeah, come on now.
Wow.
Interesting quote of fact.
Fact
Fact of the week.
You know, we're going to Snowdon. I'm sorry, I've just suddenly thought of it. Are you going in your new camper van?
Oh, yeah, baby.
You'll be sleeping over. What are you doing? Tenting it up, Chuds?
No, I think me and Hannah will find a nice pub hotel.
Boring!
Airbnb or something.
So there's no one actually camping in a tent?
Yeah,
then?
yeah, we are. Yeah.
No,
You
you're
are.
not.
Bloody not.
No, you're not. You've got a hotel on wheels, camping my ass.
I'm gonna top and tail with James Martin. He won't
Yeah.
mind, will he?
Yeah, no, he won't mind.
He'll love it. Is he taking his?
He's got all the. He's got the.
I know.
Stoves
This is why I want
and
to go with
everything,
him.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
what I'm
really
thinking.
sounds like camping, doesn't it? Stoves. You've got a better fridge in that van than I have at home.
You're going Airbnb.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
We
fine.
don't want to miss the ging gang googly 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 goo.
Gotcha, ging gang goo, ging gang goo.
That's where we have a little sing along in the evening.
Can it do? Has anyone got a guitar?
Well, then you're going to say,
And then we'll go to the hotel.
to make some hot love.
to make a Snowden baby. Good shit.
Oh yeah,
What's
won't
got
be
into
long.
us
I don't
today?
think that
No,
man's going to
leave
be a
it.
daddy soon. I'm predicting.
He's got a point. He's got a point there.
When do you think? How old are you now, Chance?
I don't think this is the
28.
thing you make judgments on.
No.
He will do it in his own sweet time, or not if he doesn't fancy it.
No.
He doesn't have to. No
It
pressure
won't be
here.
his choice. You know that.
No, fine. We've got 6 weeks during the summer holidays. Chance, we're doing it. Let's go, champ.
It's 90% the female's decision.
Come on, then. What have we got? Interesting fact or quote?
I've got both again. I'm a double whammer.
You
know
are a
me.
double. Go on, you start.
Well, I thought that's something really interesting. We're going to play a little game with the two of you.
Oh, great.
Now, do you
No,
know
I'm good-
market
I'm good at
cap?
that game.
Market cap means what does the marketplace value the capital value of businesses at, especially when they trade on the marketplace. Now, I found this. I saw this on LinkedIn a few weeks ago. I thought, oh, that's very interesting. So, the world's largest restaurant chain is, come on, you'll easily get this. What do you think it is, Chance? What was the last one?
McDonald's.
Absolutely. And what do you reckon they're worth? What's their market cap valuation? So, Chance, place your bets, please. JB, place your bets. Play along at home when you're listening or watching.
50 billion.
Chance is going for a 50 billion. What are you going for, JB?
I'm going for 175 billion.
You would be closer than Chance. So they are valued at the market cap at the moment is 224.7 billion. Big. It is massive.
That's
I mean,
a lot of big Macs,
when I'm in
man.
China, it's massive. I was in bloody Porto Pollenza this weekend. Then went on the airport. That restaurant was the busiest in Mallorca
Was it
airport
really?
by a country mile. They must have had 50 people working in their kitchens.
Yeah.
All self-serve. You cannot go now and pay at a till
No,
for
you can't,
McDonald's.
can you?
It's all done
It's
automatically.
so efficient, though, isn't it?
But here's what I think is the interesting fact or quote. There's nothing really interesting about McDonald's being the biggest chain or worth that much money. We all know who they are. The next 9 restaurants, so Chipotle, which is quite big.
Chipotle.
Chipotle? Do we have
Chipotle.
do we have any of them in the UK?
Yeah, of course we do.
Yeah, a couple in London, I do believe.
I've never, but they're big in America, yeah?
Yes.
And big in other parts of the world?
They're biggest in America, yeah. There's a
Well,
good podcast about it.
Yes, I've listened to that.
It's
Actually.
good.
Yeah. So I should know more about them. But they're number 2 at 68 billion. So let me just.
They're number 2.
They're number 2 at 68 billion. They must own some other brands. So let me just give you those numbers again. So you're listening, kids. Oh, hello. 224.7 billion is McDonald's. Chipotle, 68 billion.
Yep.
So they're number 2. Number 3 is Yum Brands. Now, Chance, whilst you're there on your little computer, can you tell us the brands that Yum owns? They own, that's KFC. That's definitely one of theirs. Have you got it there, Chance? What do they own?
KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut. ... Just let it load.
Yep. So McDonald's number 1 at 224. Chipotle at 68. Can you just check if there are any other brands, Chance?
They've got to. It can't just be Chipotle. It can't be that.
Well, bigger than KFC is unbelievable. Isn't
Average
it?
taco gaff is bigger than KFC.
KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, Habit, Burger and Grill.
Oh, this is Yum Brands just still on.
Yeah, this is just, I think it's just those 4 actually.
What about Chipotle?
What does Chipotle own? Do they own any other sub-brands? Anyway, so Chipotle, Yum Brands come in at 40 billion. I think this is where I think it's getting really interesting. Number 4 is RBI, Restaurant Brands International. No idea what they own, but I'm imagining they own something like Wacamamas and like one of them sort of groups.
Yeah.
Chipotle is just Chipotle.
There
No
we go.
other brands.
No way.
Can you, whilst you're there, baby cakes, can you check out what Restaurant Brands International brands are? They're at 31.8 billion. Darden Restaurants come in at number 5. Domino's come in at number 6 at a valuation of 16.4 billion. Yum China come in at 15.9 billion, and I'm guessing that's part of Yum Brands, but the China division. Texas Roadhouse number 8. Hardy Low Hotel Pot come in at number 9. and the Carver Group come in at number 10. So here's my interesting fact quote of the week for you.
Before you do that,
Yep.
Restaurant Brands International own Tim Hortons,
Fine.
Burger King, Popeyes.
Fine. There we go. So, yeah, I'm sure you know those brands.
Burger King is fourth fiddle to McDonald's.
One-
Wow, I find that hard to believe.
But here this is what I find really interesting. Number one, you've got the little table here that maybe we can put it up on screen. I'll give it to where I've got this information from. McDonald's is bigger than the other 9 put together.
Yeah.
And I think if anyone listens to this podcast, models are still my biggest learn of the last 20
We should change
years.
the name of this podcast. James Sinclair Talks Models.
But, I mean,
You're so right, though, because the rest of them are peddling food, and McDonald's is fundamentally a real estate company, isn't it? Which happens to do burgers with Ronald.
I'm just going to check as well. Chuds, can you just put into your little laptop, what is the market cap of McDonald's? Just because I just want to see if it comes up with 224 billion to sort of fact check us.
221 billion.
I think we'll take that.
$3 billion out. That's fine.
But then it does say 309. Oh, I think the share price is £309.80.
Can we just
USD right now?
Can we just check what's the just because I want some fact checking because I think it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
What is the market cap of Yum Brands? If it's sort of thereabouts, I think we could say
39 billion.
There we go. I mean,
We'll take it then. We'll take it.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, just what we just discussed there is McDonald's at the 10 top restaurant chains in the world. McDonald's is worth more than all the other 9 put together. Madness.
Here's a question, because I always like to find out where's your breaking point. McDonald's phone up. They're like, James, it's Harry McDonald. Me and Ronald have fallen out. Okay, kid. Don't know why he talks like that, but he does. UK and Ireland, we need a new CEO for McDonald's Group. You taking the job or not?
No.
He's not for buying, guys. Leave him be.
I mean, if they said that here you can have 100% of the shares.
What if they gave you 1% of the profit?
I'd
The
just be
lady
bored.
Would you be bored?
Yeah, well, it's just that you're just doing it for money then, aren't you?
Yeah. What are you doing it for if you're not doing it for money?
I just like doing what I like doing. I've got now my quote.
Can't
I
work
like
for
my
anyone else
double
then,
one
can
was this
Go
one.
on.
Chuds, we have never heard this Jim Rohn quote. I've got a new Jim Rohn quote
Have you really?
that I've discovered.
Is he going to come in the voice as well?
I just love this. I just think this is wonderful. I'll do it in his voice. I'll try and do it. Hey, I'm Jim.
I love the fact he has to get himself into character.
I have to do that. Yeah, I have to do that. If you don't know who Jim Rohn is, by the way, get onto YouTube, type in his name. It's spelled Jim. And then you can work out Rohn on your own. And put it in there, and you will just. Honestly, it's a feast for your ears.
Yes.
Listening to some of his old seminars and stuff. But here it is. Yeah. By the way, my favourite one. My favourite one.
Get to it. Oh my God.
My favourite one is you become the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. And this one is you can't hire other people to do your push-ups for you.
Oh, it's good.
You can't hire other people to do your push-ups for you.
What do you take away from that?
Well, you can't
Gotta do
hire
the hard
other
work.
people to do your exercise for you because that is
You've tried that, haven't you?
Yeah, I think the hard stuff, the real big stuff, the stuff that you don't want to do that you need to do. That's what I take from that.
What's the hardest thing that you still hate the most? That you're like, I really want to give that to someone.
The awkward conversations you need to have.
Really?
Yeah. I think super successful
Don't like having
people-
them.
No one really likes having them, do they?
Elon
does.
does.
I mean,
he's a weirdo.
come on. Some of I think one of the most awkward conversations that I've had that I had a member of staff that smelt of BO, and you have to say to him, mate, you stink, and we need to sort that out. That's an awkward conversation that
That
I
is.
didn't enjoy having, but you have to do it.
Yeah.
And you just get better and better from that. You're ringing up, go, sorry, I've been knocked for $100,000. I need, or you're ringing your bank manager going, I'm in trouble, help me out. But those conversations, no one enjoys having, but you just get better at doing them, don't you?
Yes.
You have to skip to the loo, my darling. No, I do not want to have them.
Yeah.
No, I'd much rather have conversations about unicorns and rainbows. But the reality is, no one's going to do those push-ups for me.
That's
Thanks,
very
Jim.
true. Very true. I've got a quote.
Yeah, go on
For
then.
interesting fact or quote of the week. If someone, this is again, it's another Naval.
I was about to say, after we found out from the last episode that you read that book, all I want is Deval quotes from you.
That's all you're going to get as well.
I would prefer that as well, because most of them are rubbish that you've come up with on previous pods.
Okay, all right, okay. If someone is talking about a lot about how honest they are, they're probably dishonest. If someone is talking a lot about how honest they are, they're probably dishonest. And I thought about that. And I thought dishonest and also like successful and doing well. Sometimes those that shout the loudest have got the least to shout about.
It's the same as, I like that. It's the same as when someone says, I don't care what anyone thinks. I don't care what anyone thinks.
Yeah.
No, I don't care what anyone else says about me. Oh, you really,
They care
really
the most.
care.
Yeah.
Because if you don't care, you're not talking about it.
No, that is true. That is true.
Although I would say that
Oh,
Andrew Wolf, who I know very well, he always says good things happen to good people. And I spoke about that in my speech that I done this morning. Like, he talks about honesty, stuff like that. And it really is, Jesus Christ, that man.
is he the Rudyard Kipling
Yeah,
poem
yeah,
guy?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah, he talks about
Can't we
that
get him to
stuff.
come and walk up a mountain?
I don't think he'd do that, no.
No.
But yeah, I think as a general rule, yeah, that's a good thing.
But there you
Okay.
go. Interesting fact or quote done and dusted for this week. Shall we get on our lovely
Can I
guest?
just ask you one more quick thing?
Go on,
for
please
this?
do.
This is playing on my mind a little bit. Are you worried about AI taking over, or are you really excited about it?
I'm just excited about it.
Oh, yeah.
I-
Which camp are you in?
Neither, really. Not really bothered.
Oh, there you go.
It's just a thing that's
Michael
happening.
Chudley, ladies and gentlemen.
Chuds, everybody, chuds.
Well, it is exciting. It's also scary. You land somewhere in the middle.
Lads
Yeah.
are in the middle. Yeah, that's true.
I keep seeing, I think the future, we've always said the future is here, like when smartphones come out, but
Yeah.
like driverless cars,
Oh,
that is happening.
it's commonplace in America now, isn't it?
Well, it's certainly in Texas and San Francisco. That has happened.
Mm.
You can get in a driverless taxi.
Yeah.
And I shared a video of this new driverless car that doesn't even have a steering wheel. It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's at the front and back are the same. And it's all done by radar and it drives along. And I just think, God, if you're in the courier business and the driving taxi business, lorries, that business within the next 48 months is going to be in
Yeah.
for some serious disruption.
Goes back to what you were talking about, models, didn't it?
Yeah.
All the time. That model is now damaged. Like for me, for example, paid for production of content is 1000% become a race to the bottom. That is a race to the bottom because you've got things that will make your clips. If we record this on Riverside with the guest, if we wanted to, Riverside will do the production. It will pull you the clips out. It will do the cameras. It will do the switching. They're putting so much stuff into it. It will do your transcript. It will do your show notes for you. It will do all of that stuff. Now, the magic to like content, for example, like, you could record a video into Riverside for YouTube. Is it going to be as good as editing as Chuds? Is it going to get tone and context and personal touch? No, of course it's not. And if, for certain people and certain companies, they're going to go, well, I need a Chuds. I love it when I talk to people, by the way, if they've got a content person, they have a content person, like, I've got myself a Chuds. I've got myself a Chuds. And it's the same for me. Like, there'll be certain companies, like we did Ted Baker. Hello, pick that name up, you say. We've done Ted Baker's podcast earlier in the year. They will always need someone who can come in and produce really good content for them. But the average coach, consultant, mentor, expert who's doing a podcast for expert authority and getting their name out there, blah, 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 they don't need podcast production anymore. They've got AI. Chud was at the talk with you this morning. He said I was talking to someone about a new podcast SEO bloody tool, and there's someone in Dubai who pitched me a new AI. We'll do all of your work of your agency through AI these days. It's 100% race to the bottom. So you have to switch the model. You can't fight the tide.
Right.
You're not going to bail out the boat with a teaspoon. Like it's coming.
It's an interesting thing. So I found this driverless car. It came up on my Instagram. I sent it. I try and.
Would you get him one?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, everyone's going to get in them. You can't argue it.
Would you get one now?
So this is Supercar Blondie. I know she's a big influencer.
Oh, she's great. Yeah.
She's actually got pink hair now. Why would she do that?
Oh, very
when your
off-brand.
name is called Supercar
Yeah.
Blondie. So this is, I will try and link this here, but this is,
Oh, I've seen these. Yeah.
this is completely driverless. Now, what's really interesting, she said in the video, she said, you get in the taxi and you don't have to put up with the moany driver anymore. But loads of people in the comments are saying, no, most of the drivers are really friendly. They ask how your day's been, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's a load of jobs done, blah, blah, blah. The reality is people will vote with their wallets because when those
100%.
taxi fares are half the cost because there's no people there.
Look at Uber. Everyone fought against Uber.
Yeah.
The black cab industry, the LTI or whatever it was, battled against it and they lobbied against it. And in the end, they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to have to kind of go with this, aren't we?
You know, I sort of referenced it. You know, everyone moaned about self-service checkouts going in supermarkets. That's where people choose to go.
Yeah.
They choose to go there even if someone is sitting
Yeah.
on the checkout. That's where they choose to go. And I watched Bill Gates, because I mean, obviously, whether you like him or loathe him, he really does know stuff. And he said, the fact is, we've gone and done this is because we have a shortage in the workforce that want to do those types of jobs. He said in America, there's 40 million less people. There's 40 million people that we need to fulfill those sorts of jobs, and they're not there. And every generation, they're becoming less and less people want to drive vehicles. I mean, if you look at taxi driving and courier driving and all of that sort of stuff, immigration is what has allowed that to happen. And everyone's fighting immigration now. So, yeah, it's just interesting.
Can't fight against a bad model. It's like you can't out-train a bad diet.
No.
You can't outwork a bad model.
Hey gang, we're going back to the pod in just a moment, but I wanted to tell you about Entrepreneurs University. This is a platform that I've created for entrepreneurs and business owners that are serious about growth. There's 100 video lessons from me on everything in business, raising finance, buying companies, property investment, and everything in between. Attached to each video is a downloadable PDF that goes into more detail about what we've learned in the video. It goes one step further than that because I've also put stuff that you won't get anywhere else onto Entrepreneurs University. The lessons go into way more detail, but not just that. You're going to get my business plans, my spreadsheets, and all the files that I use to drive the KPIs in my business. Just think about how powerful that could be for your business. And here's the good news. You can try Entrepreneurs University for free. 14-day free trial. After that, it will cost you just $49.99 a month. That's less than a pair of Nikes to grow the profitability in your business. There's a link in the video description, and I cannot wait to see you in Entrepreneurs University.
But talking about a good model, fingers crossed, let's find out. We're going to get John Surman on the show from Nucleus PC. And as we mentioned in the intro section of this podcast, they are doing Nucleus Precision Consultants. They do social work. They got property, all kinds of different bits and pieces. Let's find out a bit more about the business. John, are you there, sir?
I am indeed. Can you hear me okay?
We can indeed. You're coming through loud and clear and lovely. Right, John,
Fantastic.
if you don't mind, give us the origin story of the business, mate. Tell us about how you got to where you are right now.
Well, 20 years in recruitment. We set up our main part of the business about 5 years ago. So during COVID lockdown, that sort of inspired us to set up through some difficulties we went through. We've got pretty much two cash flow businesses that generate plenty of cash. We've got a lot of money to sort of invest, but we haven't overcome one big hurdle with that cash flow, which is we still work in the business, both directors working instead of working on the business in a way. So everything we've invested in, like buy to let, never really turned out profitable. So we're sort of going down the care sector route, children's home assessment centres in that area.
Can I just stop you there? Because I think it's really interesting for listeners. JB has done some buy-to-let stuff and property stuff. Just talk us, why did that not make money?
I think I bought your standard vanilla buy-to-let property, a few of them, and they basically get one problem and go wrong in that 12 months. Could be a damp or roof problem. It just eats up most of the cash flow. So I've never really found it make any money at all, if I'm honest. I've lost more money on it than I did make, if I'm honest.
Good thing to sign a safe place if you've got cash and you want to park it and get it in 20 years and benefits from capital growth, and then pay all that capital gains tax and think, why have I done this? But There we go. Yeah, interesting. Right, carry on. Sorry for your interruption there.
No, no worries. So I suppose working in the business as opposed to working on it, we've had challenges with retaining staff. I suppose we're based on the Isle of Wight, trying to build a management team and put those in place. Every time we get to a certain point, we either lose that potential manager. So we're trying to work on that. But also, you probably knows recruitment. It's not really got that motor end, which is what I've heard you mention before, James. Is we're not anyone can set up a recruitment company. So we're looking to set up a business that's far more difficult to set up. When we try and overcome the challenges that we're involved in, a broker we met at one of your events actually. He tried to help us raise finance, and it was very challenging because we couldn't get the finance we wanted. We needed like almost £600,000-700,000, and we couldn't really get the deposit amount and the LTV amount we wanted. So that's just giving us a bit longer to sort of work on things. We've had to go down like a lease route. So biggest challenge here, probably raising capital now to try and build a business where we can build the team and put them all in place, really.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is someone like a recruitment business, if you haven't got 5 years of, real predictable cash flow, then it's going to be very difficult to get the money together unless you've got contracts with like the NHS to provide stuff to them or the MOD. So it's sort of really strong customers. I think you'll always find that difficult. And so I would be looking to tweak the model and getting yourself fit for finance by getting those contracts in place over time. Ask why are the banks not lending you the money, and they'll go, oh, it's because it's too up and down. It's a roller coaster turnover. You have 1 month that's great, 1 month that's poor, 1 month that's great. They don't like all those things. They like boring, predictable cash flow. So how can you turn that business into that? Maybe you've got lots of customer concentration, like one big customer that drives all your revenue, or 10 big customers that drive all your revenue, rather than a little bit of money from a lot of people a lot of the time. Recruitment also suffers in a downturn, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it is tough. But once you've got 5 years of paying corporation tax and you've got that predictability around you, I think you'll find that it does get easier. Sorry to say, but I think that's probably my summary of that.
Yeah, thank you. We've been looking to actually buy a business as well. So we went on your course recently as well. So we've even gone down that route, as you mentioned, and the course it'd be quite challenging because you've got to find the right criteria where you can actually outlay a structure a good deal to a potential seller. So we're in that process. What
type of business are you trying to buy?
Because we recruit social workers and our other directors are specialists in the social care area. We're looking to purchase a family assessment centre, which is a very highly specialist kind of children's home.
Now that's very clever, because that you want to buy that and fold the recruitment company into it. So when the bank assesses you, they go, oh, this is a care business that does recruitment ancillary to drive up the profits.
Yeah.
So I've always, when a bank assesses me, they go, it's a childcare business that does leisure, which is much easier to get through than saying you're a leisure business that does a bit of childcare. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
So that headline of become a predictable government supplying contract, just think about yourself. Would you rather lend money to a recruitment business or on bricks and mortar, that if it all goes wrong, you can take the bricks and mortar away? Do you see what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. So I think that's very smart and a good tweak to the model.
Yeah, I think that's what we're just trying to go down that route. That's our mission really to go.
But do you know, look, John, good for you for identifying this and tweaking it going forward, because most people just don't do that. They just, accept it's hard and carry on pedaling against the tide.
No, it's difficult. I've let her go with the boy.
Might be even easier than pedaling against it. I just thought about that.
Isn't that double difficult?
You go down we went into the buy-to-let route as well. So, buy-to-let properties, and obviously I'd mentioned it weren't that profitable. So even letting go of them has been a challenge, because you sort of got this vision where you want to build something for the future. But I think there's different models you can sort of put your money into now. So, but with your buy-to-lets then, James, have you managed to get those more profitable? Did you go down the commercial property route?
I'm selling off all my resi. I do know some people doing high-end HMOs that seem to make more money from that. I've got a good friend that I was in Spain with, Mitch. He's doing some high-end HMOs and seems to be doing okay on that.
That's a job though, isn't it? That's an operating business, HMOs.
Yeah, he's like £900 a month.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But, you know, so they're not the 400 or 500 he's going for high.
Yeah.
And it's costing him 25 grand a room to do them.
Yeah,
So it's the higher end. I mean, if you've got a load of property, then maybe high-end HMOs are a good way of tweaking the model because you've got it, and you know, selling it and paying the capital gains tax. You turning them into supported living could be another great way of doing stuff like. There are always answers if you've got them, but vanilla buy-to-lets, in my opinion, are very tough. But in some areas, you get good capital growth. But, you know, that capital growth, you know, now comes with a higher capital gains tax if you ever want to sell them.
Yeah. That's
But the thing is, property, in my opinion, is a good way of storing wealth long term. It shouldn't really be creating. I mean, yes,
creating the wealth.
Yeah. No, that's what, you know, you want a trading business that generates profits and you park it into property. And for me, that's commercial property. That's my opinion. A lot of people try and say, oh, I'm going to turn property into a cash flowing asset, which is, yes, the aim, but it's always easier if you've got a big business behind you.
No, cheers. Another question I had for you, James, as well. You a married man, and what we have my business partner is my wife as well. So we've built these two cash flow businesses relatively organically. We haven't really had to take much risk, really. So the business we're looking to go into is far more risk involved, whether we buy a business or whether we lease a commercial property in that route where you're committed to 5 years. The lease is nearly £100,000 a year. That's probably a different level up from where we are. How did you manage when you've got someone more risk averse in maybe as a partner or someone in your business who's more risk averse, or your partner herself? How did you manage that? And how do you overcome that, do you think?
Oh, I haven't had that problem. My wife
hasn't got any business partners. He don't talk to his wife.
Yeah, I mean, she never asks, and she, I was, when I met her, I was already running a multi-million-pound business. I never go home and say, "Oh, I'm doing this," but she don't know half the things I do, and I would never get myself into a position where I have to ask someone permission.
Does she watch it on YouTube? And be like,
no,
you own what?
No,
like you've got a pub. I didn't know you had a pub.
No.
Really?
Absolutely. So I'm the wrong person to ask on that. You probably discuss with your wife more though, don't you? Hey, if you was going to borrow £1 million, would you need to get that sanctioned by Hayley?
Not sanctioned. Yeah, there will be a few conversations about it. Yeah.
Yeah. See,
but she's
no idea.
But she's very on the same train, if that makes sense. Like I wouldn't have to, as long as I could make the numbers stack up, she'd be like, okay, yeah, cool, do it. If I was like, I'm gonna have to remortgage the house for this, she'd be like, okay, a few sleepless nights, but would go for it. But it sounds like you're spinning off enough cash to, it's more risky, but you guys are clearly operating a good business already. Yeah,
I mean, I'm probably the exception.
Worst person to ask.
Yeah, I'm probably the exception. I do ask my team, I think we should do this. And if I get kickback, I mean, there's a couple of businesses I wanted to buy last year and they weren't keen on it, Janky and Aaron, and we didn't go ahead with it.
Right.
So the risk for me is, can we manage it? And if we haven't got the management, we won't go ahead and do it.
Right. That's it. Well, maybe I just need to wear the trousers then in the relationship. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying that. No, don't. No, I'm not. But you are in business together, and look, worry or the fear is not understanding something. Once you're in it, you'll understand it more, and those risks will be diminished. Do you know one of the biggest things that I always worried about when I started in business was, I've got to do a VAT return, or or I've got to do the EHO thing for our commercial. I can remember being so worried about running a food business. But once you've been doing it for 20 years, it's just a set of systems and processes you have to follow, and you don't worry about it. I mean, why did I worry about that? I worried about the first £1 million I signed up to. Now I want to. I think in 10 millions rather than millions, but I reckon by the time I retire, I'll be, borrowing well over 100 million quid, hopefully. And I feel very comfortable with that.
Interesting. Oh.
Because if I'm borrowing 100 million because I'm going to make 500 million, that's not a problem. If I'm borrowing $1 million because I'm going to make 5 million, it's not a problem. If I'm borrowing 100,000 because I'm going to make $1 million, it's not a problem.
I suppose the risk with this move, though, John, is the fact that if you're buying a business, like you talk about folding it into the existing empire, and that you won't do it if your team aren't keen on it and who's going to run it, just because your partner and your wife, by the sounds of it, is the same person, has got the experience in that healthcare sector. That means, or the specialist care, like social care environment. Does that, how integral is she to the day-to-day business if someone else would have to step into that new one? Because effectively it's going to be a new business for you guys, isn't it?
But can I just, before you answer that, the very fact that you're worried about it means you're probably going to be good at it because you're going to put the systems and process in place not to worry about it.
Yeah, I'd probably say that's what I do. A lot of the systems and processes. My partner, she's the specialist in that care area. She knows that market better than me. So although I'm the business aspect to it, on the finance side, that risk element, like it's a bit grey. So I'm like, okay, we're going to take a jump. Just hypothetically, we have a commercial lease that we've got to sign, and that goes against our house. And I think when you start making a bit of money, which we've had the benefit of plenty of cash flow, you become very protective, and that's where we are now. And like you said, Jez, that when I'm worried about VAT returns and all the little things, really, where I should be growing beyond that. I think just signing that lease will take us down a completely different path, because we'd have to pay a lease that's £100,000 a year, and we haven't had that kind of difficulty before, challenge.
Cool.
I can't see where you've submitted. Oh, here you go. I've got your questions here. Right. So the questions that you had submitted. So you've got managing multiple ventures. I think we've covered that off. If you had 100 grand and had to start again in recruitment or care, what would you do in the first 90 days?
Buy a day nursery if I was in care. I would not use the 100 grand. I would buy one that try and do a lease option on one and try and not use the 100 grand at all. I'd use the 100 grand to buy the property, to put a deposit down. So I think there's many ways that you can buy businesses without using your own capital up front, and then keep that 100 grand as a slush fund around me and use it to get the deposit over the line.
Would you use invoice finance and things like that if you, when you first started up as well, James, to try and pay the staff if the cash pot was relatively empty as well when you bought the business?
Well, because you're owed from local authorities and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know someone that, it's not so bad in day nurseries because you get paid each month. It's much more predictable from the local authorities. But if I owned a care home and you was being paid once every 5 months from a local authority, because that's the way that system works, I would definitely consider invoice finance if and you can get that from HSBC at the moment. It's 2.5% above base. That's like really cheap compared to, say, like a buy-to-let mortgage with Shawbrook would be like 3.8% above base, So maybe not sure, but there would be, I shouldn't have said that. But there will be banks out there.
Other banks are available.
Yeah, other banks are available. But, invoice financing can be really cheap, like property level money now from a high street bank, especially if it's against local authorities, which is government effectively, so yeah.
Brilliant. Again, one of the final questions I had for you, James, as well was, what's the best business decision you'd say you've made that you think more people should consider as well?
Definitely. E plus M equals S. You've got to make sure that you put good management in place so that you're growing the business and they're operating it. Because if you spend 80% of your time growing your business or generating cash flow or bringing sales into the business, most people are just doing an operations role. They become chief operating officer. Really, they should be chief cash flow operating officer, generating sales, buying that next business, getting that next contract over the line. Because if you're bringing in lots of cash, you can afford all them other things.
Brilliant. Well, thank you. I mean, I think you've covered a lot of the questions I had sort of planned in on there, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
You also said when taking on commercial lease on a startup company, would you put a personal guarantor on that? You've done.
That's it. Yeah.
If I was taking on a lease, where I'm at with you, make sure you got an option in there to buy the freehold in 3 years' time, and you set the price now. And if you can't get it, find one that allows you to do that. So that's what that really makes me want to do the deal, because I think, right, okay, I've said, look, I'll give you £1 million for this, but I'll pay you, I'll try and get whatever I pay you off of the lease, off of the purchase price in 3 years' time. They won't always agree to that. But then you can go to a bank and say, look, I can buy this for £1 million. I've been here for 3 years. I've paid the rent. It's now worth 1.3 and I only need £1 million, which means you won't have to find us a bigger deposit.
Right. Okay.
And so those lease option agreements have really helped me over my career.
So we've got a landlord who's given us a lease for 5 years. He doesn't want to sell the property. He wants to extend it after that point. It's literally, he doesn't want to sell the property. Would you say we should probably steer away from that?
I would be going and looking to find only doing deals where you can eventually buy it, because you don't want them big dilapidations bills, which are crucifying. You could end up, if you leave a leased property, you can end up with a 50, 100, 200,000 pound dilapidation bill if it's big. So you might as well try and buy them because of the dilapidation costs of getting out of the lease.
Right. Okay. Yeah, challenging. We found it really hard to see sourcing a property for this kind of business. So
but you're in the Isle of Wight, aren't you?
We're on the Isle of Wight, but we're going to buy a business on the mainland. Mainly, we put in an application to try and set it up on the island, but unfortunately got rejected. So we've managed to secure something on the mainland now.
I've got a business in the Isle of Wight. Interaction is based in the Isle of Wight. Our training company. Yeah, we're Ofqual registered. So if you're doing any apprenticeship training, check out Interaction. Okay. We can do your assessments. I didn't know that.
I thought you may have purchased Robin Hill, to be honest with you.
I nearly did. Yeah. I was very close. I went there, visited, met the owners, but I only wanted to do it if I could buy Robin Hill and Black Gang Chine, and they only wanted to sell Robin Hill.
You wanted both of them.
Yeah, because I wanted the management team and all the good people were going to Black Gang Chine. But yeah, they're customers of ours. They buy some Teddy-tastic products.
No, do they? Yeah, they've done really well. They've invested a lot. The new Robin Hill owners are doing all right as well. They've brought it back to life.
Yeah. I hope they're going to, I've seen what they're investing. I follow them on Instagram. I'm like, I hope you're not over-invested there. That's the big thing with leisure, you see. The trick is not to over-invest or under-invest. You need to have a Goldilocks approach to leisure and get it just right. There's lots of theme parks. They put that too big a roller coaster in. They have a really good year and then they got to maintain the bloody thing and they can't get the numbers. And I looked at that, Robin Hill, really, if I'd have bought that, I would have put all that money they've put into accommodation first and then a little bit of leisure, because that would have given them upfront cash flow. People would have paid them in January, February to stay there, so they would have got loads of winter cash flow. And then I would have trickled in the leisure off the back of all the accommodation, and they've put it all into leisure. And I hope it works out for them. But, I would have had accommodation first approach to that site.
Yeah, I did notice it. I thought it looks great. And I did think they must have bit of cash to hand or investment to be putting
absolutely,
that in
already. Yeah. They should have done it. That could be Centre Parks, that site. It's beautiful. And that's where I would have put the money first, accommodation, to get all that. It's a good cash flow model because people are paying you in advance before they come. So then you can use that cash to keep funding the leisure. That would have been the smarter money, in my opinion.
Do you get many challenges with planning permission and things like that?
Constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly. Never stops.
Yeah, that's what we've had on the island. It was just it's quite restricted here, whereas we found it easier on the mainland to get planning permission in place. So
if you struggle though, get councillors involved and your MP and say, look, I really need some help here, because they really do help if they believe in it, and they can write a letter of support, and that makes a big difference.
Yeah, I think we probably should have tried that on the island a bit more. Yeah, just building
must make sure your MP knows you if you're growing a bit. They absolutely do know me. If I've got a problem, I'm in there and they think, oh, God, this annoying bloke. I just write the letter and help him out.
Get him off. Get him darkening my door again for another 12 weeks. John, where can people find out more information about you if they want to get in touch, my man, if they've enjoyed this conversation?
Yeah, Nucleus Precision Consultants on Google. If anyone's looking for a legal opportunity or a social work job, we're the people to speak to for that. So, yeah, appreciate your guys' time and advice. All right.
Awesome stuff. Thank you for being on the pod, mate. We wish you well.
And you take care.
Cheers,
all right,
John. Take care. Bye, mate.
He was lovely.
Bye.
What
a lovely fella.
What a lovely fella.
He's gonna score well on the likable.
Yeah, he's definitely good business though.
He is that. Right, it's time for Day Trace of the Greats.
Day Trace of the Greats. Loads of you that are new listeners.
I'm chugging to death today. I don't know what's wrong with me. Hay fever.
Hay fever. If you're a new listener to the show, we grade our entrepreneurs that come on. We call this the 8 traits of the greats. These are the 8 sort of philosophies, habits that we believe that the best entrepreneurs have. Number 1 is starting with the end in mind. Do you think you had that, JB?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Passionate about their cause?
Oh, yeah, he loves a bit of recruitment.
Untold amounts of resilience? I'm not giving him that.
We didn't know, did we?
The master relationships with people?
We said we liked him.
Yeah.
We're big fans of John.
Commercial awareness. I actually think he does know his numbers. I mean, we didn't ask him if he does a P&L, but he was, what would you do with 100,000? I reckon he really does, but you don't know.
But no, because he was worried about his partner saying no to the business. If it was locked down on the numbers, and he wouldn't have an argument, would you?
No, there we go. Okay. They innovate so they don't evaporate. No.
No. They're trying to, though.
The master marketeers.
No.
They stay teachable and curious.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 4, ladies and gents. And the song for the 4, it's a 4.
Knock at the door.
It's a 4. A few tweaks and they can have much more.
There you go.
There we go.
That didn't take off that jingle, did it? The great song.
No, I like that.
No, we need a whatever that is called. We need phonetic consistency.
Chuds is coming in. It's my turn.
Here
Come
he
on.
is.
Come
Right,
on.
hang on, let me play the jingle.
winner.
It's time for, I had a mare last time.
What percentage of UK...
Hang on a second, we're doing the jingle.
Sorry. Yeah, come on.
Wait,
You
hold your, thank you. Hold your horses.
give me my winner's cup because I won last time. Because that's meant to be.
And it's fun. Which one's clever and which one's dumb?
Easy Wizzy, let's get quizzy.
Come on in.
So, gang, you can play along at home if you're watching or listening. Now, we have a stupid plastic trophy cup and a wooden spoon, and the loser from the last round gets to keep whatever they keep. Usually I win. So they might as well just leave the cup here. Last week, JB thought that 250,000 people in a football stadium of 60,000 bought hot food. So that's
I thought 60, for clarity, I thought 60,000 people ate 250,000 meals, therefore making the average consumer eat 4 times
that's a
during
football
a football match.
So, ladies and gents, a football match is an hour and a half, is it, Chuds? 2 hours? Yeah, having
Hour
a
and a
meal
half,
every
90 minutes.
So, including the interval,
Yeah.
half time.
Yeah.
So, you
You
have
have
a
one
meal.
dinner before, you have 2 at half time and 1 after. That's how I like to do it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, James Burt Official on Instagram. Okay, right, here we go. What percentage of UK recruitment businesses are micro businesses with fewer than 10 employees?
Oh, the vast majority.
The
I
vast
reckon.
majority.
What percentage? Oh, I'm going to go. What percentage of businesses? Because the actual percentage.
What percentage of UK recruitment businesses, so this is businesses that just do recruitment, are micro businesses with fewer than 10 employees?
I'm locked in.
I'm going 95%.
95.
Where are you going?
I'm going 72.
%79.5%. Yes. So there we go. 80% of recruitment agencies turn less than 1 million. 470 recruitment agencies in the UK have over 250 employees. I mean,
Here he goes.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. The thing with this question, Chuds.
No. Listen to me. We always say that there's 7,500 companies in the UK
Yep.
employ more than 250 people. And we're saying out of those 7,500, 470 of the recruitment companies,
Yeah.
that means there's only 7,000 big companies left that don't do recruitment. But maybe it's right, you know. The UK has the 3rd biggest staffing market globally after the US and Japan.
Really?
What does that mean? The UK has the 3rd biggest staffing market. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't know what that means. Staffing market.
Just back to your other
Oh, yeah.
query.
Hello, yep.
7,675 businesses in the UK employ over 250 people.
How many? 7,000.
7,600.
Okay.
It's up 100, but 7,600 employees. Sure.
I'm just going to Google the recruitment.
I suppose, like I say, it makes sense there's such a high percentage that
Do you know-
470 of them.
Do you know what that might
UK
be?
recruitment businesses employ over 250 people.
Yeah.
Maybe that's including like temps and stuff that go into the NHS, so they recruit them and then they put 500 nurses in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm thinking Like
I reckon that is about right though. Yeah, because it must be.
If it's that, like a construction recruitment company, we'll take 1,000 people on our books and we'll put them out.
Sub them
into
out,
HS.
yeah.
Yeah. That's probably what that means. There we go, gang.
But I won. Is that just for clarity? I did
Jones,
win.
you won.
Yes, thank
just. JB, I noticed on your Instagram that someone that was on the podcast, Robin.
Yes,
you
Robin
helped
Johnson.
him grow his podcast.
Yeah,
was it good?
It's a very good show. Yeah,
I love that. So Robin is the weirdest conversation. But halfway through, he said, "Yeah, I'm
on the BBC,
BBC One
presenter,
BBC One."
Yeah.
So now because we were
Don't
saying
do a lot of
leverage.
content.
I remember the conversation. Oh, what if you could just build a personal brand?
That's right.
And
yeah,
that would help grow your business. And you went, "Yeah, I suppose I am a presenter on BBC One," and we went. Mic drop moment.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Multiple shows.
Yeah. BBC One,
Yeah.
probably one of the world's still most recognised content creators.
Yeah,
I mean, you go to China, they know who the BBC is.
Yeah.
You go to America, they know who the
Yeah.
BBC is.
Yeah.
Every country in the world. And so, but I was really happy to see that you'd been on this podcast and you're helping people grow their podcast. Is that what you do? Tell people.
It
Come on.
is. Yeah.
JB can't quite believe that Jim's being nice about your business.
Yeah, I
for a few
don't know what's
seconds.
going on here. I feel uncomfortable.
Well, I'm just saying.
There's
you
a
can tell
punchline, isn't
people
there?
about
Is there like a balloon joke or something that's coming out?
No, just tell people about your podcast.
Oh yeah,
agency.
you can go and find out more information. Phonic.media. We produce podcasts for the likes of Ted Baker and the likes of mid-level accountancy practices. We've just started one last week. I learned a lot about the tax regulations in Dubai. Oh, I tell you what, I'm not surprised everyone's going out there.
Gang, I can't, we
do a lot of podcasts, that's what I'm saying.
The content world is changing, and I really do believe that if you're in business, I think that we've still got just enough time where you could build audience. If you'd say, right, we're going a few years to it, I think if it's the right sector, like accountancy is a great one, fishing is the one I always use as an example. But if you've got a niche thing and you can make content using the podcast, most of my clips on my Instagram come from here, not my main YouTube channel, two different things. But if you like writing newsletters, podcasts, videos, I really urge you to really look into it and give JB a call and see if he can, with his little wisdom brain, to see if he can help you.
Little wisdom brain.
Or big wisdom brain.
Wisdom brain. No, but you are right, because I think there are a lot of people going, the like personal brand, that's the big thing at the moment, isn't it? Personal brand.
I think it's been a big thing for 10 years.
Oh, it has been a big thing for 10 years, but it's still a big thing now. And I think people are like, is it too late? Like I get that all the time with the podcast thing. Oh, everyone's got podcasts. No, they haven't.
No.
Last month, 380,000 podcasts actually published an episode. There was also at the same time 534 million people who listened to a podcast in the same last month. So if all things are equal, you get about 1,300 listeners per episode.
More people are listening to them than ever before, aren't they?
Yes.
Like that is the new radio. And even the mainstream media, you look at LBC, you look at Global,
BBC,
that own Heart, LBC, and and all of the radio stations are using their main shows and then spinning off other podcasts from it. All of them. I really do. I get amazing opportunities through my content. And even, you are, aren't you, from doing this? You do get
This is the spin, guys.
it's not a spin.
This is the spin.
No, because
No, you are right though, yeah.
no, I think people would look at me and go,
I've got
"Right,
another one that's come off the back of this as well.
No,
'Cause
but-
I like it when I get like a cold lead now. I hate it when they go, if I get on a Zoom call, they go, oh, hey, JB. I'm like, oh, for God's sake, it's come for that idiot again.
No, I don't mean
Another one.
No, but what I'm saying is I think a lot of people would go, well, James, you've been doing it for 7-8 years. You're doing it very consistently. You've got a team doing the content. But I think you don't have to, what I'm trying to say is don't think of it, you have to do it to the extent that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I actually think newsletters still are just so underappreciated, aren't they?
I've done it with just something like a little passion project that I decided on over Christmas, like a LinkedIn. I was like, I'm just going to do it on articles. It's got 1,300 people who read it.
Yeah,
Do you think like that's a relatively small number, but it's
No,
like
no.
1,300 people who
Good
read
people.
every single
Chud's,
article.
Chud's got a newsletter for his photography business. Come
It's
on,
good.
Chud's, talk
I like
about
it.
Yeah, how many people are?
Nearly 3,000 people.
What's your open rate?
60, 70, 80%.
670.
Wow, is it really?
Where are we at with my ones?
Similar, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's just the open rate of an audience of people that have decided
Super
they want
engaged.
to consume. Yeah. It's like you just said, that's a small number of people reading stuff, but if it's the right number of people, it's the perfect.
That's
number
true.
of people.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not-
true.
So I want to ask. So Chuds has brought out a couple of books on photography, street photography. So Chuds is
I bought drop one.
yeah.
Can I still buy drop
just
two?
released another one, yeah, last week. Whatever.
Did you know what I mean? He's like Penguin. This guy.
He
I never
is.
knew that. Anyway, so what I'm saying, I remember. You know when you put out your first one, did you release it on the email list you've got or your YouTube?
So it's easier to just explain what happened last week. I've released a little photo book. It's like a magazine from photographs from New York that I just went to in April.
Yeah.
And I just gave the link to my newsletter subscribers last week. And I've half sold out just from a newsletter.
No,
And I've not mentioned it on YouTube yet. I've not
So
mentioned it anywhere else.
that's exactly what I wanted to get to. So the problem is, someone would look at me now and Chuds and they go, "Oh, you get 100,000, 130,000 YouTube subscribers. That's easy for you to say." So he just said his newsletter subscribers are about 3,000. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
And so half of that 3,000. Sorry, no,
Half of the stock,
half of it. And how many were there?
200.
So well, that's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
So 100 sales from a 3,000 sent out.
And what's the price
newsletter.
point of it?
20 quid.
Yeah, so you think that's £2,000
But I
from
don't
a
actually,
newsletter that's free to do on a lot of platforms.
the monetary point isn't my point really. What I was trying to get to at was a newsletter can be a very loyal.
Yeah, they're very
audience.
engaged.
Yeah.
It's the loyalist, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
I think I've got a video about the book coming out this week, next week.
I'll do the other half.
I think I'll sell the other half, but that video will get 10,000 views. But I actually only needed 1,500 opens on an email. So I reckon for me to sell 100 books, I probably need 500,000 Instagram views.
Yeah.
If I wanted to sell 100 books, I probably need 1 million views on a TikTok video.
Oh, 100%. So if you look at that
Or
open
just 50
rate,
of the right people opening my email.
yeah.
And here's the thing: we spoke about Miracle Morning on here.
I'm banging on about it all over the gaff.
Yeah, I've seen you do that on with James Martin on his podcast that he went on. You was talking about Miracle Morning.
Ask me if I'm still doing it a year later.
Are you still doing it?
Yep.
Ask
me if I did it today.
Did you do it today?
Yep.
What the point I'm trying to make is, I think writing is still something that makes you better. And if you create a system where you have to do it each week, though I've got this system now where I have to release that newsletter every week. Chuds has to release that newsletter. What a very good personal development thing for you to do.
Yeah. It makes you a better thinker.
And it'll make you better on podcasts. It'll make you better on video. It'll make you, so I think copywriting, learning the skill of writing, and that's very important.
One of many good business skills that you've got, James Sinclair. Where could they learn about all of your other business skills that you've got? Say, I don't know, if I was free in September.
We come into Business Masterclass, which is the big 2-day event in London to help entrepreneurs and business owners grow their business. Tickets are a few £100. I think they're about 500 quid, but they are packed full of value. Business Masterclass, go to my website, jamessinclair.net. If you want to find out how to buy businesses, spend 2 days with me with 200, 300, 400 other entrepreneurs that's serious about growth. Think of the people you'll meet in the room. It's all coming up. Getting customers, driving the profitability in your business, raising finance, and everything in between. jamessinclair.net, and I'll see you at Business Masterclass. Can't wait to see you there. Tickets are selling like hotcakes.
It's the best 2 days
I agree.
of business information. If you are a serious entrepreneur, if you want to have a little tire kick and you want to go and do like a buy-to-let or an Airbnb, swerve it.
Yeah, swerve
Not
it.
for you. If you are growing a serious business, I think I spoke to 80% of the businesses in the room were doing over £1 million. Had at
Absolutely.
least 10 staff, like very, very, very good level of people.
And the price will go up soon. So if you want to get it, do it now before the price goes up another 50 quid. It will go up every month. So that's how we always do it. So, take action, gang. Save that money.
Absolutely. And we'll see you in the next pod. Ta-da.
Bonjour for now.